Yeah.
I talk to you and it's just like time is kind of like moving still because it's like we're both like sharing life experiences and gems and different knowledges and it's just always been that cohesiveness between me and you. And I feel like that cohesiveness back then prepared me for now.
You think so?
I know so.
I'm a people's person, so that's nothing for me. But for the most part, my day just consists of investigating gas leaks, turning on gas, turning off gas, removing meters. It's just anything gas related, bro. It's just a whole bunch of different things.
With one of my boys, Jeremy, he's a maintenance worker for the DOE schools, right?
Okay.
And he always stressed the importance of the overtime is there.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of blue collar people, y'all live for that overtime.
We envy, honestly, we envy MTA and sanitation, but we do get it too though. But once again, blue collar jobs, bro. I'm real big on time. And what I mean by that, like, I'm willing to pay to not waste my time. I'm not, how can I put it in correct words? Like, I'm not saying be an overtime junkie, because there's guys that they just work all day, every day, from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night. That ain't me. I actually like my time. I like to spend time with myself and do things I want to do, but I put myself on a schedule. Like, I might work overtime 3 days out the week. The rest of the week I can chill out. My checks still look good. Everything still look good, and I still got time to myself. But the overtime definitely be there. If I want to stay and work every day after the shift, like, it's there. It's going to bleed into my time, but at least when it's time to do things I want to do, it'll be there.
You can, because you have the accesses to it, and everything that you're able to do in life literally comes from your two hands. You understand what I'm saying? Once you get up and you put those to work and you get out there and you try to make a change and you're dedicated to your craft, when payday come,
there you go.
When thing come. But now you give people this national grid version of yourself who was able to climb through the rankings. Now, somebody who's sitting at home is gonna say, "Damn, yo, he sound like he just had a straight path in the upward trajectory." But I know that sometimes, as it appears to be an upward trajectory, we actually got thousands of bumps in the road. And I also want to reference, our infamous 2018 year.
Oh, yeah.
Because in 2018,
that was a year.
We done fell on some tough times.
Yeah, that was a year.
And let me tell you something.
That was a year.
No matter what tough times you fall upon, there's two things you could do. You could lean on your friends. You could lean on opportunity, right? 2018. Me and Davante.
Yeah.
We struggling.
At the bottom.
We struggling. You know what we did? We logged on to Uber Eats and we was delivering food. We was delivering food. Listen to me.
Boy, all nights.
all hours of the night. And, obviously, there's always a hustle in New York City. Yeah. There's always a hustle all over the world, as much as, you always say that. And it's like, we were able to find solace in just staying active. So, like, tell the people how important it is to stay active even through our tough times.
Like, what you mean by active? Like, just get up and moving?
Just get up and moving, get up and still trying to make a couple dollars a day. Like,
yo, it's hard. What I will say is that a lot of times we wait till things get hard to want to try to
hustle and
bustle.
Right.
And then it gets even harder, like you said, when we went into the bumps in the road. One couple things I do is I'm not in therapy right now, but I was in therapy.
Absolutely.
I journal a lot. Podcasts is another thing. And in my opinion, when you sit down and you write down your problems, you can read it, you can look at it, you can think about it, and then that same timing, write down possible solutions. Compared to doing that while you at work, or while you driving, or while you watching TV. When you sit down and actually spend time with your brain and what you putting together and reading what you thinking out of your head, it gets way easier to get over those humps.
Sounds like self-reflection.
Yeah, self-reflection, bro.
It sounds like self-reflection.
Accountability, self-reflection. Like, when something went wrong, I try to find a way to blame myself for it instead of blaming others or being like, oh, they don't like me. Nah, you was lacking because you didn't do this on time. You didn't wake up an hour early like you should have. Like
Absolutely.
I try to hold myself accountable when them little bumps in the road happen.
And I always say it's so ironic and it's such a full circle moment because we go from going to school late as teenagers to appreciating time as adults.
Yeah, I love being on time, bro.
Yo,
I try my hardest to be on time,
and
bro.
me, it's like, yo, you tell me 8:15.
Yeah,
Come
that's why I
on.
hit you today. Like, yo, bro, I'm letting you know.
Now listen,
I'm
even but if you're running late, it's a bit of a courtesy to all the young people, old people, middle-aged people. If you can't make it, reach out, but try your best to get there on time.
I feel like the biggest problem I have, and that makes me get an attitude and make me upset, is when you don't respect my time. I just feel how big I am on time.
Absolutely.
I respect your time. I told you 8 o'clock. I knew I was gonna be late.
Absolutely.
So at 6:30, I said, yo,
hey,
I'm gonna be running a little late.
Absolutely.
And then I got here 8 and some change.
Yeah.
But I still want to let you know there was a possibility.
Absolutely. And it also stands the test of time where if you know somebody's always on time, at one time they running late, just like, all right, you can't really, it's nothing to hold something against them for. But so we in 2018, we Ubering.
Yeah.
I was getting a flashback to that one time we got the free food. You feel me? The movie theater food.
Shout out.
Shout out, man. Just everything in a nutshell. And during those tough times when we were sitting there delivering, splitting everything down the middle, you on your own personal path.
Yeah.
And I want you just to describe, what was that personal path you was on as you was delivering food?
That was a rough time. So to make a long story short, I wasn't at my job. I wasn't working at the moment. I didn't have no income coming in. I was literally living off the money that I already had saved up. And I needed to just I already paid my bills off.
Right.
But I just needed to get pocket money and to keep money coming in. So I started doing DoorDash. And then I found that you were doing Uber Eats. And I'm like, nah, bro, let's do it together so that I'm not getting tickets and all that. You needed a ride. I'm like, yo, bro.
I used to be on a bike.
We can help each other. Exactly. So I'm like, yo, we can help each other. But it was real rough because not only was I not working, but I was trying to buy my crib. I was trying to buy my house. So around that time, I'm trying to make money to stay up, to survive, just to float. But at the same time, I'm depending on whether I should buy this house or not. Because right now, I'm not in the predicament that I want to be in to buy it. I'm not working right now. I don't got no income coming in. I don't know when I'll be back at work. Do I want to take the chance and still get this crib? But like those was the two crossroads because I'm trying, like I said, we making money trying to doing freaking Uber Eats to 12 at night, 1 in the morning. But at the same time, I do got this other problem, this other decision I got to make that was making it extremely hard.
Absolutely, and it's so strange because as you already know, that same time I was trying to get back into school. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like we both at this crossroads. You're like, yo, we need money. We just trying to make it work, and it's not like we need money for foolishness.
Nah,
we just trying to get the money and advance our lives or like propel it, And it's so funny because I would never forget. We just dropped off some chicken to some fat dude.
Was this the dude that was mad that we was taking mad long? That
dude was just wilding that night.
Yo, it's some rude
wicked,
customers,
some wicked people out there.
It's some people that really watch you and be like, yo, why are you going that way? That would really tell you.
And the GPS, the wild thing about, I'll do like a derail, okay? I remember the first time I got a bad rating, for weeks I had 5 stars. One dude was like, yo, can you come upstairs and bring the food? I'm like, boss, I'm riding a bike. We in Flatbush.
Yeah.
He like, nah, but you supposed to come upstairs.
See?
I ain't saying nothing. I walked upstairs. Another big dude, 6'4", like 400 pounds. I'm not fat shaming. You understand? And he gave me 2 stars. And that dropped my rating. And I always
you went out your way.
Whatever. I left it alone. But it was just like, we seeing these different phases of Davante the person.
Yeah.
We see the shy kid, grew up with his family. Then we see the kid who's like, trying to get a job, get into high school, you clowning around a bit. 23, you go through the transformation. And then at 25, at 2018, at 25, we left that wild Uber dude and your phone, we in the car and your phone bings.
Yeah.
and your phone bings,
I remember that night.
and just describe to people what you seen when you opened the
Man,
phone.
I wanted to freaking cry. I was already having mad. I'm not gonna say mad problems, but I was hitting hurdles.
Yeah.
In terms of getting the paperwork for the house. They was telling me one thing, then running into this, which made they have to change that. And I'm just trying to figure out, are we gonna close or not? Are we gonna close or not? And then we was in the car, and I got the call. I think her name was Sarah. I can't remember her name. Either Sarah or Jane. I don't know why them two names keep popping up. But she called was like, "Oh, just want to let you know we're good to close tomorrow."
Oh yes, the call came first, and then the bing. The bing was the email, right? So you got the call, right?
No, I think I had to the bing first, because I don't even think I checked it at first. Or maybe look at my phone when the call came in.
Yes, no, I do. Yeah, so we must have heard the call first, and then we heard the call first. We heard the bing, and you was like, "Yo, what is this?" And then you clicked, and then you seen the form. I remember we pulled over, and I was just like,
so yeah, it basically was just them saying, "Hey, we're good to close tomorrow. We can meet up at 7:00, sign our documents, give you the keys to the house, and we're good to go." So that was the day that night they was basically telling me, we're good to go now. Everything is all settled.
I ain't gonna lie. That night, I felt like I got a crib too.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the way you was in that journey with me, bro, and that car stressing it, bro. We both won that night.
Yo, and it's what the strangest thing about it was. I think that night we made the most money.
Yeah, we probably did. Yeah,
we made the most money.
Made a nice spot.
We went to what Shorty's or Flatbush.
You know, nice drink.
Cranberry vodka.
Shorty's.
It's long gone.
And
it's like I remember that night we sat there and we were just like, yo, like the future.
Yeah.
The future. And then the following year, you got your tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And literally till that date, the next year, I was back in grad school. So it was like, it was very like forthcoming. Yeah. And it's like, damn, like the ones you cherish the most is really the ones you share the journey with.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we've seen the highs, the mediums, the lows, and it's just like, yo, we really adults now.
I feel like that's part of life.
And we beat the no kids curse like 7 times. You know?
Yo, I don't know how I last this long. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea how I last this long.
But there's something to say about a young man who rather build themselves.
Of course.
Rather add on to themselves. Yeah. None of that play or what do you bring to the table? Or what do you got going on for yourself? It's none of that. It's more of, yo, I'm working on myself. I'm growing myself. I'm sticking to the plan and I'm building the brand. You understand? So you're still a gas man, but now you becoming, as what I call, Dennis Estates. The real estate mogul. So what's your outlook now on life whenever you see a property, if you're just driving past? Like, what goes into your mind?
Several things. Yeah. You know, I think before I had the mindset that every landlord is a millionaire. Like if you own property, you're a multi-millionaire.
Here comes the truth, people.
You're a big time money.
Here comes the truth.
There's people like me that's struggling, that don't got millions of dollars, really don't got thousands. Like there's people like me that they probably, that tenant is what's keeping that building running. There's people like me that they can't even, when I say about me, I mean the average regular person. Yeah. They probably still got a job, you know. But there's so many houses that's like owned by just one couple. That might be the only house they got. They 80 years old, you know, stuff like that. That's when I learned, like, oh, anybody could be a landlord. Like literally, legitimately anybody. I've done met, and when you buy a house, you start to talk about that more. So when you meet other people, you know, it comes to the conversation, like, oh, I just bought a house. And then you meet this custodian, this gentleman. He's like, oh yeah, I got 5. I got 12. I had a dude come to fix something in my house. It's an older gentleman came to fix something in my house. And we was talking, and he was telling me how right now he has, I think he said 5 or 6 buildings, but he was telling me how back in the day he had 18. And we sitting there talking, he's sitting there telling me about how Bridgeport was back in the day. You know, he's telling me specific houses.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
He's telling me certain houses that I remember passing by that he's like, oh yeah, you know that orange house down there? I own that. You know, my brother owned this. Yo, my pest control guy owns property. That's when I found out, oh, there's so many people. There's people at the gas company that own property. Like, not every landlord is a millionaire. And I feel like the way it's, I don't want to say picture in society.
The way it's portrayed. No,
the way it's portrayed, yeah. If you're a landlord, you make millions of dollars. When COVID happened, and I'm pretty sure my tenants is like, oh, he'd be all right. I'm not going to pay rent. He'd be good. But little they know, no, I'm relying on that. Because if they're not paying, I still got to pay my mortgage. And that's when I got the rude awakening, like, oh, this could be a full-time job.
And you know, right, you're absolutely right. But you know what people don't understand is, even as you invest in a property, things don't go peachy. Sometimes you'll find yourself behind. Sometimes you find yourself dealing with a tenant. But these are the examples that people want to hear.
Yeah.
Versus other people, especially, you know, people who are online on
Oh,
certain
yeah,
radio
showing
stations
everything that
who
look
sit there
good.
and they're like, yo, we got 50 properties, we doing this, we doing this, we doing that. But in actuality, you don't want to tell people the full story.
Yeah,
You don't
there's
want
a
to tell
lot.
people you struggled. You just want to tell people, yo, you
There's
know,
a
I got
lot.
the property, I did what I did, and now we all good.
It's a lot of cutthroat stuff. People stepping on your toes to get property,
Absolutely.
lying on you to get, you know, an opportunity to look at a property or to put their number in they bid in just to get a phone number. There's a lot of that goes
You know,
on.
I
People
opened
talk
our
about.
shit. It's a couple years. Nah, I wouldn't even say a couple years ago. Maybe like almost like a year and a half ago. Like I told you, obviously because I just wanted to tell everybody who's tuning in right now, because my boy bought a house, I wanted to get one too. So I went through Rocket Mortgage. Mind you, first time I did my FHA loan. They gave me a loan approval letter for $200,000. Now in my head, mind you, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I could take this 200 bands.
Yeah.
I could find a crib.
Yeah.
Maybe 5, 6. I'm just saying what I thought in my head. I got 200.
That easy.
I could put the thing down on the crib.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm good to go. But then it's like, they like, nah, like, yeah, limit 200. You got to find something less than that. But then it's like, I start looking around. There's nothing in New York City. And I know I'm a little naive for it. I check upstate like 7 hours away. You understand what I'm saying? But you were the first person who spoke about, yo, it's okay to expand the operation outside of New York City. So just to explain to, you know, you don't got to give them too much, but what does outside of New York present as, why does it present an opportunity for you instead of staying here?
Living in New York City, growing up, I work at a job where it's 80-90% dudes.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you meet with people at different ages doing different things. When you in New York, unless you're a millionaire, you're supposed to take your New York money and invest it outside of New York. Because what's expensive to us up here, gonna be dirt cheap in other places.
With New York money.
With New York money. Let me be clear. When you're making a New York salary,
yeah,
it is very easy to afford other things in other states. Not every state, but in other states. That's how I ended up in Connecticut. Because when I was looking for a crib, I know for a fact I couldn't afford nothing in New York.
And for the younger viewers who using their parents' account to watch this, whenever he says crib, he means house.
Yeah, house. You know, when I was looking for my house, my property.
Oh man,
it was nothing. Once I put in my price range, New York just says beer. It just says no search results found. Like ain't nothing.
Now, mind you, as naive as I was, I remember because before Connecticut, I know personally you were looking at Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey, yes, Jersey.
So one day I'm on Zillow and I remember we on the phone and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm about to just check Philly. I check Philly. I'm seeing houses all 50, 60, 70,000. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, bro, it's dirt cheap in Philly. And you're like, yo, that violence.
Go out there and click that street view and see what
Jeez,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's opportunity.
It takes people like us or like in that situation to buy up and build it
and
up,
rebuild.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Yeah, but I get
absolutely.
What you're saying,
it is
a risk if you don't know what you're doing.
Absolutely. But you know, I always look at it as the ends kind of have to justify the means, you know? So I feel like not just myself included, but you stand as like a living testament of, yo, it's okay to work and use that money for something else.
Yeah, but I hate when people be playing a 9 to 5. I do not like that. I feel like
you could use it.
I'm all good for being entrepreneur. I mean, for the entrepreneurship and people don't being entrepreneurs, but not everybody works like that way. Some people need a structure.
They do a foundation.
And not only that, but yo, when you got a 9 to 5, you supposed to take your 9 to 5 to fund your dreams.
Absolutely.
Like you take your 9 to 5 to build your side hustle, let your side hustle become your main hustle. Then you can kick your 9 to 5 to the side.
Sheesh.
But there's no reason to shame people on 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is gonna get you where you need to go. I would have known none of this stuff that I've known now if it wasn't for my job.
Let me tell you, the 9 to 5 paid for all of this.
That's what I'm saying.
This right here was a summer school check. This whole setup was a summer school check.
That's crazy.
You know, and I told myself, listen, it's something I wanted. Go out there and get it.
Yeah.
Same way you wanted that house, you went out there and got it. Now, How much boilers did you have to change? How much times did you have to make gas lines over the last couple of years? Maybe a lot. But the ends have to justify the means. They do, because at 30, tell them how you living. Tell them how you living at 30.
Let me brag real quick.
Talk about it.
I got my own crib. My own house.
Multi-family
house. That's my rental property. But I also got my own apartment that I live by myself in Brooklyn.
Talk about it.
I got my own car.
Paid off.
Paid off. Got my own car paid off. Yeah, but that's what he is.
I mean, you being humble.
Yo, don't be wrong.
This guy always he always in another country every other weekend.
Don't sell it too. I like to enjoy my time. Like I said, my life.
But you're enjoying the time because of what?
Because of my 9 to 5.
Yes.
And staying steady, keeping a game plan, and just doing it. I tell everybody, as long as you got a game plan and you stick to the game plan, I promise, whatever you think is too hard, it will be done. Once you see the game plan to it and follow it.
Now, I'm not going to say you haven't done anything special, but I would say in front of the world, your hard work and your work ethic has made you do special things. Because if you were lazy and you were complacent and you stayed in the same spot, you would not be where you're at today. And I always feel like it's important, and I always tell people, one of the reasons why I started the platform, you got to see other people. You got to see people say, yo, I struggled. You got to see people saying, yo, I messed up. You got to see people saying, yo, I wasn't really too good at school. But you also get to hear those same people say, yo, it clicked.
Oh, wow.
Yo, I kept certain people around me. I had certain support systems. And I want to transition into those people, those support systems. I got to ask you an infamous question. Who are the members of your village that just kept you afloat? Who are the members that say, yo, you know what? You're going to be all right. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. I got a good solid 3 people.
Okay.
My mom, number 1.
Shout out,
my mom is my homie. Like,
the last 4 guests is like mom.
Yeah, I love my mom, bro, to death. Like my mom got place. My mom know I hold her down. Anything she needs, she can get it. My mom was there for me. I got my boy Paul.
Shout out Paul.
Paul is the reason why all of this happened. I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't for Paul, I don't feel like I would be the man I am now.
Real estate P. Shout out Paul.
Shout out to Paul, and of course, Mr. Positivity himself. Jesse, because no matter how many times I'm like, bro, it's not gonna work. You like, nah, don't worry about it, boy. You good, son. Yo, let's go get a drink. Yo, on me, son. Take your mind off of it. And I really feel like, especially around that time when I didn't know I was gonna get the crib. I was debating on that. I felt like those evenings when we was DoorDash and then just us, we go get some food or whatever the case may be. Those kept me like, all right, bro, let's do it tomorrow. All right, another day. That kept me saying, all right, don't give up on the crib. Yo, you probably can get it.
Give up.
Sign them papers, get it done. So, and especially during my roughest times, I feel like I said, you, my mother, and my boy Paul, know me the 3 people that I could call and be like, yo, what you doing? You got a minute? Or I could be like, hey, yo, let's go out and get something to drink. Yo, you mind if you got an air to lend me real quick?
Absolutely. Like, I truly feel like there's no problem that good conversation and alcohol can't fix. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
It sounds like I need to go to AA, but I'm just saying, because like in general, it's a certain level of camaraderie, You get to be vulnerable in front of certain people. It's just like anytime I call you and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really don't know what I'm gonna do next. And you're like, yo, bro, like, what's your plan? What have you written down? When are you starting? And I feel like having somebody in your life who's always gonna ask you, what the hell is taking you so long? Those are the people that care the most. These are the people who want the best for you. But it's a certain level of belief, because I can't want it more for you than you want for yourself, and vice versa.
That's the worst.
So I tell people all the time,
that's the worst.
You show me a little bit, you'll be able to show me a lot. If you could go through this national grid thing, and then you could sit there and use that money and buy a house, I already know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
All you need is the means.
There you go.
All you need is the means, Ain't nothing really gonna stop you. You understand what I'm saying? But I've seen you here, here. But you never quit.
Yeah, you never up. Just to be clear, you never up here for long.
You never.
You're gonna drop back down eventually, but it's all about you bounce back up.
Word. And then obviously, as you know, we got a chance to drive down to North
Yeah,
Carolina
boy.
to go see Julie. And
shout out to my son Jew.
shout out Julie, shout out Namey
Yeah,
too.
shout out name.
And we all have had that camaraderie
Yeah,
since high school. So seeing your friends become adults,
yeah.
how does that make you feel?
I love it, especially because my friends, they don't got no kids. Like I feel like it's a brag when I be like, oh, my friends don't got no kids. They all in careers already. I got a friend that's a teacher.
Yeah.
Like I feel like to me that's bragging because I've seen people that's not doing nothing. I've seen the little hood boogers. I've seen the hoodlums that's not doing nothing with themselves. So to say that I got women in my life that's actually, very intelligent, they doing something with themselves, they got a career, they doing something that they're working on, or they're already in what they're working on.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a major flex. It feels something to be proud of.
It is. It's a very big
Hell
flex.
yeah.
I have my sister friend on the podcast. She's a movie director. Shout out Julie.
Fire.
And I told Julie, I said, it's something to say about a woman. And I hope I wasn't speaking out of turn, but I was being just vulnerable with her. It's something about a woman who they don't have to use their looks to get ahead in life. They going off for straight brain power and intellectuality, if that is a word. You feel me? But they just got a plan and they just working with the thought process. They invested in themselves and they just moving in the right way, And it's like too many times we let social media fling us or just give us a misguided perception on what success looks like,
Yeah.
You don't listen, whether you're rich at 35 or 40, you're still rich.
You're still rich.
You're still
Yeah,
rich.
and I've learned that before. I used to feel like, dang, if I get rich, like I'm not even gonna say the word rich. I'm not gonna say the word rich. But let's say I get successful at this age. I was looking at it like, yo, I've missed out on all the things I was able to do at 25. But you think about it, no matter what age you get successful at, there's magic things for you to do at that age that you're interested in now.
You think these wealthy people be like 70 on the jet skis wilding?
Nah, bro, what? So I'm like, yo, I'm not even worried about that because the things that I didn't care that I like, those things that I don't care about no more. I got new things that I would be spending my money on. I got new things I'm working on now. Like I said, right now. I've been real big on travel. I've been traveling a lot more now.
Gotta go see the world.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that at 25. So if I was successful at 25, I probably wouldn't be traveling. I'm probably buying mad sneakers and video games and streaming and all that. So this is the things I'm interested in at 30 now.
Absolutely.
And like I said, as you get successful at that age, you just find new things that you're interested in at this age now to do. So
and also too, you also start attracting like individuals,
Yeah.
You also start, what you are is what you will attract. Mm-hmm. So if you, moving with purpose, moving with a plan, moving with God, and you just moving with good people, these good people would find you, The networking, the connections you make, that's what's really going to allow you to just reach certain grounds that you never thought you would reach. And it's like, if you could tell the 14-year-old version of yourself something, what would you tell him?
Dang, I don't even know what I would tell him, bro, because he was wilding. I'll probably tell him, like, no, listen. Nah, I wouldn't even listen to that. I'll probably... yeah, I'll just probably tell him, like, yo, listen. Whatever you want to do, just know you can do it. You just got to stay focused. That's probably the one thing I'd tell him to do. I feel like when I was 14, I was listening to a lot of what everybody else had to say. And caring a lot about what other people think, which is why I was a class clown. I'm trying to be the funny guy because I want to make people laugh, So at that age, I cared so much about what other people think. I probably would just tell myself, yo, don't worry about all that stuff. Worry about yourself and focus on yourself early. Because I probably would have had all these things that I have now if I just would have had the right mindset or the right click. We all got that spark that make you change your ways or make you do something different. If I would have probably had that spark at a younger age, I probably would have had all this when I was probably 18, 19.
Yeah, but 20. I still feel at the same time, everything is in God's plan. And, you get there when you get there.
Yeah.
But
it's not to the fact that sometimes we delay because of our decisions.
That's absolutely. And I was just going to get into that. A lot of the times that lack of discipline, it hinders us. Not being disciplined is actually worse than getting sick. Because it's like when you got that lack of discipline, it's okay to be lazy.
Yeah. It's been mad times that I felt like I was on autopilot, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just waking up, going to
too.
work, coming home,
coming
chilling,
back, the same routine.
The same cycle.
It feel like it's Groundhog's Day because I think I told you in July, I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna go to Mexico. This was last year, July. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to Mexico and just reset. And every day I woke up in the morning, I walked to the beach, I sat on the beach, I was with family, and then I came back. 2 days later,
Yeah.
it's like 3 a.m. I'm on Amazon and I'm just looking for podcast equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I have my time to reset, but I gotta get disciplined, bro. I gotta get focused.
Yeah.
And then I always tell you the funny story. October 16th, I put out one video.
That's it.
And then I haven't stopped yet.
You got to keep going.
And a lot of my discipline, my focus, my motivations, they've come directly from you. You understand? Because I don't have an older brother.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of older homies in my life, you know, that serve the role as an older brother.
Yeah.
But it's like we only a couple weeks apart from each other.
Yeah.
In like birthdays, maybe like 2 and some change. But it's just like you've always been moving with the purpose. Because I personally feel like you got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder that I didn't. I personally feel like that because it's like you've had doubters and I've seen the doubters.
Yeah.
I had my fair share of doubters, but nothing like yours. And it's like you got more of a chip on your shoulder because you got to do it without the education. You got to do it without a lot of support. You got to do it without, you know, certain stable relationships, you know, and you push through. And that dedication is why I said, yo, you know what? Come on the platform, bro. Tell your story. There's a little kid watching this right now who like, I want to be like him when I grow older. Because he don't have this.
Yeah.
He don't have the bond. He probably don't have, you know, maybe a father figure or somebody positive to look up to. You know? And as you know, I always say it to your face, you are somebody I look up to and I aspire to be because I feel like if I had 2% of what you had, I'll be on the moon. But I'll settle for the stars, but I'll be on the moon.
That let me know I ain't doing enough.
Keep going. And always remember, man, steel sharpens steel. Or is it iron sharpens iron? Iron sharpens iron. But it's like, you know, I appreciate you for keeping me sharp in life. I appreciate you for coming on the platform. Any last words you want to tell the people?
Oh, I do want to take the time to tell you, bro, I'm extremely proud of you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
As someone that said they're going to do something and actually get it done,
yeah.
I want to say, yo, bro, I'm proud of you. I'm happy to see your dream is unfolding, bro.
Man, it's unfolding. I'm just the teacher. Certain times I'm going to
we're not going to talk about
you know,
that.
it is what it is. But before, you know, we end off.
Yeah.
You got that video in your phone of me in North Carolina going through the obstacle course. And I feel like I'm going to show the people, but you're going to need to take that off your phone, boy. So it's like I'm walking across a tightrope and I'm literally, you know, shaking.
The video is only like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, but we're basically on a trolley and you have to use the rope to pull yourself down the trolley, but obviously if you don't keep your balance, you can fall off. And Jesse just like this. I wish I could add the wing, and sound effect too, because that's how your arms was. You trying to hold on.
Trying to hold on for dear life.
But yo, if you want to embarrass yourself,
I'm weak. But yo, I just want to say, man, cheers to keep making moments. Damn, you got to get your refill when you go upstairs. But still, cheers to keep making moments. Cheers to your continued success, your prosperity.
Cheers.
And just, yo, keep up the great work.
Appreciate it, bro.
Keep being a God amongst men. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Davante Dennis on the platform.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.